You think of Casio, you think of ruggedness, you think of affordability. This is very expensive. So in this video, we're figuring out why it's so expensive and why it's so goddamn sexy. To the Chisholm Hunter channel. My name is Harrison, as always, and we've just hiked down from a glacier, and I'm not gonna lie, when I had the idea to go up a glacier with crampons and a big ice axe with a couple of the MRG watches, I was kind of concerned that we would break one. But true to Casio form, we didn't. So we've come to this beautiful cave just behind us, and let's talk about this Casio. Okay, so first things first, let's cover the specs of this watch. It comes in at 44.4 millimeters in diameter. And when we talk about watches, especially luxury watches, the specs mean so much. And people in the industry have kind of been shrinking. They kind of like smaller stuff. But Casio and I would say Panerai are some of the only brands that suit being bigger. And this actually looks a little bit smaller than you might think. And I think it's partially because of the black coating that they've used. Imagine it like you are dressing up. Black typically camouflages size, whereas white or bright colors typically make them look that little bit bigger, stand out a little bit more. This feels slightly smaller than you might think. The case length comes in at 49.5 and the thickness comes in at 13.6 millimeters. So it is a little bit more chunky, but remember you're getting a lot of technological features shoved into this watch. Never mind the new body and all the upgrades that they've brought to the actual materials that we'll move on to in a second, because that's essentially why it's more expensive. So on the subject of features, let's quickly cover what exactly this watch can do and some of the features about this watch. So let's cover the water resistance first. It is water resistant to 200 meters. And I've seen a couple of complaints online saying that for a watch at this price, it should be water resistant to 300 meters. But let me tell you a story. I went free diving with one of the world record holders in free diving. He went to, I believe, 126 meters underwater before his eardrums burst and he set the world record. I went free diving with him and I got to 6 meters underwater. And that was considered good. So if you're using this for professional diving, then yeah, maybe you want the 300 meters. But if you're not, the odds are you'll be fine. This watch has Bluetooth connectivity, it has a core guard structure, and it's a new carbon core guard structure. It has a crown button lock, and the crown locks into place to ensure the water resistance and avoid accidental changes to the settings. It has a display illumination, which is essentially that beautiful light that we kind of know and love from Casio. It has a neo-bright luminescence, which fill those hands and make a beautiful glow in the dark. It has sapphire crystal glass, which is a definite upgrade to the previous Casios. It has a screw lock back, a shock resistant case. It's solar powered and it's powered by any light source. So say if you were in your bedroom and you put this watch next to your light, for example, it will charge next to your light. It doesn't need to be in direct sunlight, which is really cool. And it is also heavily vibration resistant, which we kind of know from Casio. So these features we've all seen before, but what makes this watch so expensive? So firstly, let's start with the actual bezel and let's kind of deconstruct this watch and figure out what makes it so expensive. So the bezel on this watch consists of 27 individual parts, and every single component, every single cog and screw and whatever's in that bezel are individually polished before assembly. The octagonal top ring is made from Cobarium, a cobalt chrome alloy 4 times harder than pure titanium, and with a sheen similar to platinum. So that's why you get this beautiful shiny finish, but it's also extra hard and extra durable. And this is partially why I was so nervous taking it up into a glacier. There's big spiky things, and typically when you have a watch, you don't want something big and spiky next to it. And it was fine. The other bezel parts and the case are made from titanium 64, and the bracelet links are made from DAT55G. Both are extremely hard titanium alloys and offer extra scratch resistance. On top of this, the special multi-guard construction of the case and the bezel makes sure that this watch is resistant to shocks, and all the different parts have diamond-like carbon DLC coating to protect you against scratch resistance even more. And to top it off, it is all assembled in Casio's premium production line in Yamagata, Japan. Now, it is no secret in the industry that the Japanese way of craftsmanship, especially when it comes to their dials, is a step above everything in the industry. And you can definitely see that on this watch. It has this beautiful, stunning 3D effect to it. And let's just talk about that for a second, because God damn, it's sexy. The dial sheens in this beautiful black color and it kind of reflects through that 3D texture. And the texture of the dial takes inspiration from the Japanese woodworking method called kagumi. This watch to wear is just absolutely unbelievably comfortable. I have to say that. It is brilliant. And that kind of octagonal bezel shape just gives it that futuristic look that you know and want. It's like a stealth assassin of the watch industry. It's so discreet, but it still draws the eye because of that black sheen to the bracelet. Now, after my time with it on the Glacier and also wearing it for a couple of days in Iceland, I've not got one scratch on it that I can see, which is crazy because any stainless steel watch, any normal stainless steel watch would definitely have got scratched. Now, because of the different materials that are used on this watch, especially titanium, this watch is, Jacob, feel that. Put out your hand and just have a hold of that. It's so light, isn't it? It is crazy how light it is. And sometimes in the industry, when you're paying what you're paying for this watch, and we'll go on to that in a second, I quite like a bit of heft. That's just me. But other people like light things. Other people like really heavy stuff, like platinum. So it's totally your personal preference. But it is quite weird to have such a light watch at that price. When you flip this watch round to the case back, you can see it has a titanium screw lock case back with the Casio 5718 quartz module movement and with their tough solar technology. Okay guys, so let's get down to it. How much does this watch cost? It costs £4,300. I know, it's damn expensive for a Casio, and I personally have been kind of intrigued by this over the last, I'd say, month because of how expensive it is. Here's the thing. Every brand has watches that show what they can do, show the level of engineering that they can go to. It's not to say that everyone wants them or everyone wants to buy them, but it's showing what that brand can do. And this is a damn good watch. Now, yes, it's probably for the collectors of the world, especially the Casio and G-Shock collectors. However, it cannot be doubted that this technology that's in this watch, especially when it comes to those beautiful materials, is brilliant. And guys, it goes without saying that this new innovation of technology will trickle down eventually in the years to come to the more affordable watches. And that's why I love innovation so much. At the start, it's a bit like a new car. At the start, it's going to be that little bit more expensive because it's so new. And after a while, that trickles down into the mainstream cars that you can get your hands on. So if you're an adventurer, if you're an explorer, if you're a Casio collector, then I think this is probably one of the watches that you could go for. It's rugged, it's tough, it has all the technology that we know and love. And on the subject of adventure, it looks like a clear night, and I want to see the Northern Lights. So right in front of me are a massive wall of Northern Lights. We just pulled in really quickly, almost crashed the car, but we didn't, so we're fine. And we're just about to go and see them. I can see the pillars moving, red and green. Unbelievable, take a look at this. So we've just come outside after getting woken up from a deep slumber. We were absolutely knackered after the Glacier to wake up to this. This is just unbelievable. You know, in a lot of these watch vlogs, I say it's not about the watch, it's where it can take you. And Jesus, these G-Shocks, they've taken us to someplace. I mean, look at this, look how bright it's getting. That is just crazy, it's dancing and everything. Wow.